The person who created the plastic for a reason. But today, the plastic is now a problem. The plastic was initially a solution before it became a problem.
Welcome to the Green Living Chat brought to you by Ecoamed Solutions Ghana. I'm your host, David. Happy New Year. Thank you for being part of this community and for helping and contributing to the success of this podcast. We are so enthused about this year because we are coming up with a season 2 of the Green Living Chats, which will be live from mid of January 2021. Updates on this season will be coming up in the next episode. Stay tuned. This episode is part 2 of our discussion with Misbah-Olusanya. In our early discussion, we dived into the different activities that Greenway International is involved in, as well as their new product, the sustainable bamboo paper straws, where they are collaborating with hotels, restaurants to replace the plastic straws in the system. Today, we get Michael's view on how businesses can be sustainable. Is it important that businesses, companies, and industries consider sustainability? And what can they do considering companies who actually think that consumers are the ones supposed to make the right choices and not them? Today, we hear from someone who has been in the business, tried the market, but still does it sustainably. Here we go.
Yes, the first thing we have to look at is the creator of the problem. The creator of the problem is the creator of a solution. So many times when we want to create a solution, if we are not careful, we end up creating the problem. The person who created the plastic for a reason. But today, the plastic is now a problem. The plastic was initially a solution before it became a problem. So when we look at it from the angle of the responsible production, before we come to talk about responsible consumption. So first, you remember I told you how we started. We thought about what is the solution to these people's problem. We could have created a solution and also created a problem at the same time. Because we want to create a solution, we can also create a problem unknowingly that in the next 20 years, this could become a problem. Whoever created the plastic never thought that today it could become a global problem. As a company, I do not think the company should blame the consumer for their irresponsible consumption. The company should rather be looking at how they can create a very sustainable product design that could help mitigate a future problems. So when they do that, the company would be in a position to actually see beyond the consumers. Consumers don't care where the product comes from or how it is made. All they want is, does it serve my purpose? Will I get value for my money? That is what the consumer cares about. Think about someone that is hungry. He only needs food. Doesn't care whether you need to cook it or not. Someone thirsty. He doesn't care whether the plastic is going to end up in the ocean or not. Consumers are driven by their intention to consume, and the producers are driven by their intention to produce and make profit. But when the producers start thinking to the right direction, that when we make profit, it shouldn't be just about profit, it should also be about the people and the planet. The business can make profit and the planet remain healthy.
If we all decide to make a change, definitely we are going to see the impact that it has on the world and, climate change and all that. But do you think that every individual's change actually counts, because someone might be there and be like, well, this huge company keeps producing hundreds of thousands of plastics every year, and they don't care about how it's recycled or not. How can an individual, or maybe a small company in Ghana or a small company in Africa somewhere, Nigeria, how can our impact change something? What would you say to them? And how do you encourage even individuals to make a change? Meanwhile, they can see the big companies keep, producing and don't care about this. They don't have any environmental sustainability plans. And as you were saying, they don't care about the SDGs.
Well, if you are to look at the impact of every person, it's more or less like saying that when we minus 1 from 100, it will give us 99. So when we minus 1 from 99, it gives us 98. So when we keep minusing 1 every single day, we will end up at 0
Exactly.
in 100 days. So the same way, every impact counts, and every contribution you make counts. So if I can reduce my plastic use from 1 to 0 of 100, and you do the same, and everyone do the same, imagine 10 people minus 1 plastic bottle every day for 100 days, and we have 10 people, and that is a lot.
Yes.
So when we have another 10 people doing that, it means we are all making impact, and that will become very huge when we put it together. We could never thought we could reduce the plastic straws by 1 million plus in 2 years without the help of our partners. When we started, we only have one partner, which is EB Styles Hotel. Along the line, the other businesses who are also into food and beverage industries, they started, doing window shopping. They all look at what is this person doing that I am not doing. They always spy on each other, and they notice that, oh, this company is using these biodegradable bamboo straws, and where are you getting it from? They give us a call. Then today we have about 25 businesses that are sustainable, and they are on our network of zero plastic pollution. These are businesses in Ghana that are not using plastic straws anymore. So among them, you can count them. We have AM/PM restaurants, which is in the Villaggio. It's not far, it's just around there. We have a Fat Fish, is one of the best restaurants. These are places that people that want to think about how they can save the planet. These are places that they can visit when they come to Ghana. And the people in Ghana also can visit those places to see how beautiful and wonderful a place to be. It is, and these places, when you visit them, you're not just sitting there to enjoy yourself, but you are also creating impact when you patronize them, because they are always on the forefront, in the forefront of sustainability. So when you patronize such business, such business become big enough to, open another location somewhere. But when you, as a consumer, you're patronizing a business that is destroying our planet, you're giving them more power and more resources to really continue to impact the environment. So when those businesses are getting more patronage, they won't change, because they will feel like, oh, the customers are not complaining, so we are doing well. That is why we're getting more sales. The customers are not complaining, we are doing well. That is why we're getting more customers, more sales. But when they notice the sharp drop in their sales, a sharp drop in their patronage, they're going to start thinking, why are people not coming here? What is going on? Then they will start thinking of their actions and how they can better reverse it. So a place like Coco Lounge is owned by YOLO Experience. They have stopped using plastics, and they've been buying from us since 2019 till date. And we
Wow.
have so many businesses like a Bondi. Bondi is a restaurant in Osu, and this is a very great restaurant. These places I'm mentioning, they are very beautiful places that you want to go there, you want to feel at home. That is the place to go, and that is the place to sit. So these are places where you can get value for your money, and not just value. We are also going to be saving the planet and also saving a lot of people from environmental hazard. And aside that, they are using our products, and when they use our products, it helps us to establish a botanical gardens in schools, because Greenway is also planting trees in schools. So from every purchase they make, we are also able to deduct a little portion of that purchase they make and contribute it towards tree planting, which means that for every person who purchase a cocktail in a place like that use our straw, they are indirectly planting trees in basic school.
I was actually going to get into that, asking you about you talked about now Greenway has in two parts, the business part and the one that is doing environmental advocacy. I've read a lot of articles and posts on your tree planting projects, and I just wanted you to expand a little bit on it. What started this whole project, and why the plants? And I know you are involving a lot of youth into planting trees all over the country. And so, what started this journey as well?
Well, when we are starting our organization, we have a mission, and in our mission statement, we are focused on reducing the plastic pollution and the carbon emissions. The carbon emissions, we're talking about the greenhouse gas, and that is one of the things that is affecting the change in the climate. So the climate change SDG 13, which is the climate change, the goal to reduce the climate change, that is the focus of Greenway International. And we have chosen the two part, which is to reduce the plastic pollution and also to reduce the carbon emission. So reducing the plastic pollution, we are providing alternative solutions, which is a biodegradable bamboo straws. We are looking at a biodegradable container for food, because we have a lot of food plastic waste, which is caused by the styrofoam food pack. Because in Ghana, a lot of people do takeouts. When they go, they do takeouts. Wache, they buy takeout almost every day in millions. And that is a lot of plastic waste we have there in that sector. So the food sector is one of the biggest sector where we have plastic pollution, because the consumption of food is very, very high. And at the end of the day, what happens to all this waste? They are not recyclable. Nobody's taking them. And everything goes into the landfill, while so many of them go into the ocean. When we start looking at the other side of planting trees, we decided we should be planting trees to reduce the carbon emissions, because there are so many people cutting down trees because they don't understand why we should have more trees in our environment and why we should have more trees in the cities and in the society. So they cut them down, they use them for so many things you can think of. So, and some people don't naturally like trees. They feel like trees, cause deaths because of the leaves. So they don't want to sweep the leaf every time. So they just cut down the
Oh.
trees. So many reasons why people cut down trees in Ghana. And from our own side, we started planting trees because we want to create more awareness about tree planting and also the benefit of tree planting, and to ultimately reduce the carbon emissions. So the trees we are planting, they are able to suck the carbon and clean the air. So when they do that, it helps people to get more fresh air to take in. So when we are able to plant more trees, we are going to be helping more people to access clean air. Because when you don't have a clean air, you are prone to a lot of diseases. And
Yeah.
the clean air is something very, very important for every human being. It's a basic right. This is one of the reasons why we have adopted a tree planting as one of our flagship programs that we have to do every time and as much as we can as a mission.
So far, how has this response been, and also how are these programs, organized? Do you move from city to city? Do you move from school to school, or how do you do this so that people can also come on board to help in this project?
Well, what we've been doing is that we've been partnering with so many civil societies, NGOs like ourselves, and we are also working with government agencies, the Forestry Commission, the European Union, which also has been instrumental with by supporting us with funding. And the European Union has been a partner for quite a very long time. And they've really been supportive in most of our projects. So we've done a lot of regreening Ghana project with the European Union. And for volunteers, we get people who are joining us to become volunteer, and we issue them a certificate of participation. So on our website, we have a space for a volunteer. We have a place where a volunteer can visit our website and click on volunteer or register and become a volunteer with Greenway. And they come to our office and we assign them a mission. And they carried it out by based on their interest. And we let you know that this is our mission. So how do you want to volunteer? And how do you want to work? And how can we support you? So on a research project, we can partner with students who are looking for more information on how they can better mitigate climate change, and
Yeah.
that is one issue. And another thing is we also work with individuals that are looking at supporting a great cause that is helping to save the planet. Those ones, they walk in, they register as a member, and as today we have over 500 members, active members, who are young
Wow.
people from the academic environment. We have a student because we are focused on working in the academic environment. That is where our focus
Yes.
is. We are not really working with other projects, but most of our projects are really focused in the academic environment in terms of tree planting. Because the tree planting, when we've done several tree planting outside the academic environment, and the results wasn't really encouraging. Yeah,
Impressive.
because you can think about it when you go to some communities, you want to plant trees, and the people in the community are asking you to actually give them some, incentive or some money. Actually, let me say money before you can start a project. Then we let them know that, look, we are not getting money from anywhere. So where do you want us to get money to give? We are coming to help you. So we want to help you plant trees in your community so that you can have fresh and clean air. So why do we need to even pay you to do that? And some of them have this mentality that the NGOs have gotten donations, they've been paid, they have gotten money from somewhere, So they just want to come and do some activities here and go. No, they need to pay us before
Yeah.
we allow them do anything.
I think that in Ghana we have to make this education and awareness a little bit on a higher level because people don't understand this at all.
Well, even the government sometimes think that the NGO are getting money. When you go to government, they'll tell you, you people are getting money. You are getting money. From where? So the question is from where? There was a day I was
Exactly.
asking someone, I said, you say that NGO get money. You yourself, have you given money to an NGO before? The person couldn't respond. You've never, Africa, you don't get donations. And most NGOs don't get donations.
Yeah,
If you look at
it's
the
very
US,
difficult.
we are now in the US. We are registered in the US now as a 501c3 so that we can receive a tax deductible donations. And we are registered in Ghana. We are registered in Nigeria. Greenway International is in these countries. In Togo, we have a representative in Togo and in Benin. So when you look at it, for USA, people donate to NGOs because they know that when they do, their tax will be deducted and they have a lesser tax to pay. But in Ghana, it's something different. People are not really encouraged to give. When you talk about giving, it's a different story. So that is why you see that so many NGOs, they start and they fail because they don't have support. So what is supporting us that keeps us going? It's the solution that we are providing at Greenway Enterprise. And also we are getting support from the European Union, which is when they come up with a project, we act as an implementing partner for them. So when we implement the project for them, we get some sort of consultancy fees, and also we also get sometimes we get some sort of a benefit from them for working with it.
Yeah.
So aside that, the product that we are providing as a solution is helping the organization to survive. But today, how many NGOs in Ghana or in Africa have a social enterprise that is helping as a cushion to help support the mission? Very little. They start out of passion and they end as a failure because there is no support from nowhere.
I've been talking to quite a number of NGOs and startup companies that are trying to do something to solve problems in the environment, and most people are saying the same thing that you are outlining, that we don't have the support from the government and also the society, because governments can even see NGOs publishing or putting out some videos online, and they just come make promises that, hey, we're going to support you and do this, but at the end you don't see anything happening. In your opinion, what do you think government can do to help us to be able to make impact and get our work going out there?
Well, you see, the role of the government is very, very big. But the government sometimes, when you are a king and you don't know that you are a king, your actions, you act like a slave. The government are not totally aware sometimes of what they can do to really help save a lot of businesses that are crushing and a lot of businesses that are supporting a social cause. The government don't need to give money to businesses like social enterprise. They just need to set up a policy that really works, not a policy that is just a paper and a pen policy, but a policy that really can make a change that can help them to achieve their goals. The government set a lot of goals, but how many of the goals are achieved? The government set a lot of they'll say a lot of things, but how many of the things actually are fulfilled? So it is high time that the government start thinking about how they can work with the people that that have assigned them into office. So when they start getting closer to these people and working with these people, then will things become more productive on the inside and on the outside, which is the communities that they are serving.
That is right. I think that in one of your interviews on the sustainability chat, someone was also talking about environmental laws and policies, and I think that was a very interesting pick out there, because the government doesn't necessarily, just as you're saying, just to provide funds for NGOs and startups, because I think that's the mindset that they always have, that yeah, we don't have enough money to invest in you. But if they are able to set policies to make things easy for us, just like you're saying, that people in the West think that they can pay money or send contributes to NGOs, and it will actually do something to benefit them, then they will always do that. If we have a similar thing in Ghana, I think that people will be awakened to do this. Indirectly, they are supporting NGOs for them to function very, very well. I think mentioning the sustainable talks, I think that we can just zoom into that, because I think it's something new that Greenway International has started, and I think it's a very fruitful conversation that is going on, especially on, I think, Instagram and Facebook. Can you tell us how this initiative started and how amazing things that you are learning from that?
Well, it's a very wonderful program that we have launched, and we started featuring great people, young people that are environmental advocates, environmental sustainability coach, and so many of them from different part of the world, including Ghana. And what we are doing is that we are trying as much as possible to highlight and learn from what they are doing and how they are doing it better. That is helping to reduce the environmental impact of climate change. And so many of these young people, you will realize that when you go on our Instagram page and listen to so many of them on the page, you come to know that the people are now becoming so aware of the change that is coming and the change that is going on right now. And a lot of young people are the big change makers. And they are the ones that are actually making the change happen, not even
Yeah.
anybody else. And the young people are the ones that are on Instagram, that are using the social network. And they're really very active. And they believe in the cause, and they believe they can really achieve a lot. So when we start listening to some of them, we come to know that what everyone is doing in their own little spaces, in their own countries, are really contributing to the nationally determined contribution, and also reducing
Yeah.
the impact of the climate change, and also creating a lot of benefits for so many other people in that community. I was surprised when I had an interview with a very young lady that is picking up eye contact lens. And she was
Yeah, I watched
talking
that.
about high contact lens recycling. I've never heard something like that before. That is totally new. And this is microplastics, you know. So I also was talking to a very young lady from New Jersey, and they have an environmental club they have established in their university, and they're getting a lot of young people joining them. And this is a new movement of environmental advocacy that they are creating. And we also have an Oxford scholar who is also uh, studying to learn more about how you can create a policy and influence a policy that will help to change the way we live and how we can better protect the environment. This is someone that is already in school in Oxford on a scholarship, and thinking about how they can come out to really make a very big impact. And you can look at it from different angles. They are all in one way heading towards a mission, which is to revive the planet. So the sustainability meeting that we are having on the social network, a lot of we're getting a lot of views, and some people will call me and tell me that, oh, they love what I'm doing because this is also really exposing them to a lot of knowledge about
Mm-hmm.
environment. And we have a very young lady that has sent emails to Amazon about. She said she has sent almost 100 of emails to them before they stop sending
I
her.
think a lady from
Yeah, from
India.
India. Before they stop sending her plastic packaging. And the Amazon replied that we are not sending you any more uh, plastic packaging. So think about it. That action she made, if 10 people would do that and tell a restaurant that, look, I don't want plastic straws. Today, about 10 people keep telling them that we don't want plastic straws. It will change because they are there to listen to the customers. The same thing when people don't talk about something, when they keep quiet about it, the issue continues to grow. We need to not just turn a blind eye to global issues. We are all going to be impacted, either directly or indirectly. The issue is going to concern us. We just need to start thinking about how we can put in our voice so that our voice can also help make a lasting change.
Yeah, yeah. I think that this is something that we have to keep, encouraging the youth to do right now, because now we have so much of an important tool that can really help us to make our voice heard all around the world. And just like you're saying that, through Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all the networks that we can think of, we can keep advocating and also make people understand the impact actually, and practical individual things that people can adapt, alternatives that people can adapt to change things. Right now, what advice will you give to the youth in Ghana? Because I think that your business has been going on for a long time in Ghana, and I believe that you have seen the problems with our environment in Ghana. It's a very huge problem, even in the capital. So, what advice will you give to the youth who want to enter into business, who don't know how to start, who don't know what to do, who don't even know how they can contribute to protecting the environment?
Well, let me say that, you see, when you want to start building a house, it's more or less like you want to start laying a foundation for a business. It's more or less like the same structure. When you want to create a business, you already have why you want to create that business and the purpose you want the business to serve and what profit you are looking at to make from that business. The same way I expect that every young person that is thinking about becoming an entrepreneur or a business owner or creating a kind of business should also be thinking about how can this business create a social change, not just profit. So that is one thing that I believe can actually put you in the spotlight and give you a very big edge against your competition. Think about a business now that is starting to produce water, and you want to produce water to serve the people, and you come out and you are also producing water in a sachet. What difference have you made? No difference, because there's already a water in the sachet. So why do you come and create water in a sachet? There's already a water in a plastic. As a business, why can't you become innovative and think about how you can do something different? I think that is the only thing that can actually help a small business, as they call it, to become a big business. And to become a big business, you need to think about the people and the planet aside your profit. So if you're looking at creating a business, you don't come and start up a restaurant and continue to buy a plastic disposables to serve your customers. You should rather create a food business and come in with a sustainability business plan and a mindset. You don't just come in and say, oh, I'm starting a business today. I need to go to the market, buy 10 bags of sachet bag to wrap my food to service my customer. When you can buy a paper bag, when you can think of using a paper straw, when you can think of using a biodegradable container to serve your customers. A new business has a lot of opportunities that they can take advantage of while they are starting. But it is somehow difficult for a business that didn't start as a sustainable business to adjust into sustainability. The reason is that the price will change. It is more or less like you want to start a renovation of a house that is already built. That is old business moving into a new way of doing business. So we call that a renovation. So they have to break this, break that. During that transition, they're going to lose some customers. And they're going to lose some capital. They're going to, a lot of things are not going to be cool for them. They're going to go through a lot of shakes. But for a new business, it's more like you just got a fresh plot of land. You want to build a new house. It means that you need to get your architecture correctly. You need to get a very good plan that you want to put on the ground, and you need to decide and design how you want your structure to look like. And that gives you a lot of opportunity and a lot of time to actually design a proper plan. Compared to someone that is already, in the business, coming as a startup, you are not supposed to be thinking about how you want to compete with an already existing business. A startup should be thinking about how it can fill in the gaps for the whole business and work like a partner with the whole business. When you look at most of the technology we have today, most of them are kind of like filling the gaps. They are filling the gaps. That is how you see that Facebook don't have this, and WhatsApp have this, and this don't have this, and they have this, they have that. So some of them are you need to look at the business. What are the shortfalls of this business? And how can I make mine better when I start? So you don't need to tell them their shortfalls. You just need to create it. It's in control.
So that's it for today's episode. Thank you so much for listening. Join us on the next episode where we give you updates on the new season of the Green Living Chats. Until then, live green.